But I think one of the things that sports anime can do really well when in the right context is they can take like a moment in time in this sports anime. I'm gonna use Ippo for example. There's a bit where Takamura's fighting Hawk. I literally rewatched this the other day because I'm watching reactors watch it, and it's great. It's one of my favorite fights. And there's a bit where you remember where basically Takamura gets knocked over and he's about to fall, but his gym mates, so Ippo, Kimura, Oki, and Itagaki, their hands hold him up. But obviously, it's all anime fight. It's all like glowed up, and they hold him up. And you can look at it and go, "Oh, that's not going to happen in real life." But it kind of does in a small sense. But anime has the opportunity to kind of display it in a sense where you wouldn't do in a live action. So the whole story of that big thing is my gym mates are holding me up, quotation mark. But we get to see it visually.
It was the power of friendship.
Power of friendship, yeah.
My nakama.
Yeah, sports anime are able to do that, or just anime in general are able to do that. But I think with sports, there's so much inner thought stuff or stuff that's going on in the minds of like players, whether it's a team or individual, that you don't get to see in other like live action stuff. But in anime, you can kind of dig deep into it. Hence why you have like Mount Ippo countdowns are supposed to be 1 to 10 seconds in the last 2.5 minutes. But you can get away with it. You can get away with it in anime, and I think sports anime does a good job of like displaying those visuals.
I think to piggyback off that, this is not much about to say. I'll be quick.
Go for it, man.
One thing that I think is unrivaled within sports anime is character development. In terms of, like I said, underdog story, but you see a character start off from nowhere and literally get to the top of wherever it is over the episode. You get to see that growth, and that's one of the things that make it really entertaining for me.
Yeah, I agree. So, Quibs, with Crazy Basketball and Ahiru, do you find it more difficult to watch Ahiru because you've had experience watching one that was a little bit more kind of supercharged, as it were? Is it just not as much, or you just have to appreciate it for other things? Like how do you feel when you're watching it? Or has it been so far removed from the previous time you watched the other basketball anime that it's just a separate entity now?
I think so far removed. I think I watched Kuroko in like 2014, 2015.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite a few years ago. I think for me, a hero is just not that entertaining as an anime.
But why? If it's not the power thing, then why is it not as good? Or is it the power thing?
It's not even.
That's what I mean.
It's
okay. So why is it not as good? Because I've never seen the other one, so I want to know what I'm missing out on potentially with a different anime.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to put my finger on it, but it's missing something. It's missing some sauce
pizzazz
that Kuroko has for me. It's like the story is a bit. You don't really for a few episodes you didn't really know where it was going. It's kind of like you had a confusing-ish storyline. They want to make it realistic and kind of get your heartstrings by having a mum have cancer, having to pass away from that, etc. And then he's playing. The team have to go through what they go through, the things like that. But I don't know. I think it could have been executed a bit better.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's not really about the powers. There, it's more like, for example, I watch music anime. What powers are going to have in music anime?
I think
they can move their fingers super quick on a piano, and they go, like, I don't know.
I think I think it doesn't tug on any emotion strings. So I can't remember in Ahiru No Sora any moment where I felt like I was on the verge of tears. I jumped up and got hyped, or I was really like gritting to like my teeth were like all the way back to my jawline. Like there's no moments that my emotions were like at peak. I think that it doesn't. You don't need power-ups for that, and it doesn't matter what the anime is. If you can do that, then I appreciate it. But I don't think a hero ever like executed, like Chris said, never executed on any of those.
Yeah, fair enough.
Which is weird. And then I don't know what that is. It's just down to the writing, man. It's just that's all it is. I mean, it's not bad anime. Again, it's just I got nothing really to like look back on, rewatch. Like there's no scenes I'll ever rewatch Ahiru No Sora.
I get that. Yeah, I do have that feeling. Even though I enjoy it, I probably watch it with a wry smile. That's probably my emotion. But the entire time I do like it, but I would never rewatch it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd recommend it. So on Nathan's ratings, that wouldn't be above a That'd be a 6 or below, I guess.
For me,
is it 7? Is it 7 or above you recommend, or 8 and above?
No,
just your general ratings. 8 or above is a recommendation, right?
8 is like hard recommendation.
What's 7? Is that recommendation?
7 is like, yeah, I could recommend, but maybe depending on the person. 8,
okay.
8s are like everyone I know that likes anime. I want you all to watch all these so I can talk to you all day about it, basically.
Okay. I would okay, in that case I'd probably put it in low 7s from your ratings. I would give it to someone who loves sport, maybe just loves basketball, but yeah, this is all right. You might appreciate some elements in this. But yeah, no, it's not like amazing. But here's the thing, I still want to play basketball when I watch it.
Yeah, I got that.
So have you ever seen an anime and you haven't at least for 2 seconds thought, yeah, I might go for a jog? Like even Run with the Wind. I don't jog, but I thought, yeah, I could go for a jog. I want to get this ultimate jogging style this guy's got, because he's like in that last moment when he's like that bit, he's like, oh, can I achieve that?
So this is what I mean. Like you just mentioned Run with the Wind, and I have this rush of emotions and feelings to just charge through me.
Because you can see them just handing off. There's
so much about Run with the Wind that I just absolutely love, man. And it's crazy. Like you mentioned Ahiru No Sora, I'm like, Run with the Wind. I'm like, oh, let's go. Like I want to talk about this, man. Run with the Wind was good.
But is there any that you've seen and you didn't want to do the sport? Because I've always wanted to do the sport that I'm watching. Mainly Haikyu, to be honest. I just want to play. I just want to go volleyball. I just want to jump up and smash.
Cruz can say Haikyu. I didn't want to play volleyball.
That's true. You didn't like it. Did you want to play?
Yeah.
I don't mind volleyball. You know what? Like I said, I'll put Haikyu above Ahiru.
I appreciate that.
I
appreciate that.
There's a lot more oomph to Haikyu than there is to Ahiru, but I think there's two things. Not all anime are created equal, because we've got a whole load of anime out there, but there's only so many that can fill the top 10. And then two, not all anime that's for you as well.
Yeah. I'll give you a good example. Ping Pong the animation, right? People that I know, it's one of those weird anime where not a lot of people watched it, but everyone that's watched it rates it really highly. It's really weird. So it's not very mainstream. And the main reason why it's not really mainstream is the art style is really, really, really off-putting for a lot of people. Like, I couldn't describe it to you, but you'd see if you saw a picture of it. But that's one of those ones where, like, I would go in thinking, okay, I'm probably gonna like this. It's liked by quite people that have at least seen it. And I watched it, and it didn't hit the notes for me. And it's so weird, because I finished it and I was like, that was really good, but why don't I like it that much? I thought I was in such a weird place. And it's one of those ones where the more I keep looking back at it, I'm like, okay, that was actually really good. Okay, actually, yeah, that bit was actually really good. But I think I was in a place when I watched it, I just wasn't. I think I was waiting for something to happen, and it never happened. And I think stuff that did happen just went over my head, and I missed it. There's only 10 episodes.
I was gonna say, how many episodes? You could probably, if you really wanted to, you could rewatch it, maybe in a different mindset.
Yeah.
But,
I might rewatch it.
Did you binge it, or did you do it?
Yeah, binged it. Yeah, Ping Pong the animation is a good one though. Most people for the people that have seen it. Yeah, that had to hit a different note.
Do you prefer if the main character struggles a lot, or if they're just naturally talented and you get to see them do loads of cool stuff?
I like both, man, because that's Hinata and Ippo.
Gun to your head, you've got to pick one.
What about like an unpolished diamond, like Ippo? Like
no.
So what was it again?
It's
so
basically just
someone who's got talent and blossoms.
Pure effort or talent, or just pure talent.
Effort.
Okay.
I would have to say the same. I think that's one of the reasons why I like Kenichi Hichi's Strongest Disciple so much, because I think if we're honest with each other, a lot of the things that we think are talent are not actually talent. It's just a lot of effort behind closed doors. So, for example, if you see someone who's really good at a certain sport, like everyone has a innate aptitude to be good at something. Just that I think through the current school system and all that kind of stuff, we're not really given the opportunity to explore what it is that we may be good at. You have to kind of live life to do that. But in order to get really good at what you are good at, naturally good at, you have to put in effort and practice behind closed doors. It's not that you wake up and you're messy. You get what I'm saying? It's like all that practice that goes in behind closed doors makes watching those kind of anime a lot more entertaining than seeing someone who goes in straight and then after a bit they become this overpowered guy. Even Goku had to do was it 1 billion push-ups and sit-ups before you can get to certain power levels and that.
Every anime is a sports anime.
Yeah, you can't get stronger without some sort of sports anime element. But the whole talent effort thing is really interesting to watch, because sometimes within one sports anime you have that or both of them in there. Like you've got the kid who's having to work hard. He's trying to catch up to this other kid who just seems to be effortlessly talented, even though behind closed doors that guy's probably put in work as well. But then you get that phrase, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. Because that was also that thing about, obviously this is kind of off topic but on topic, Phil Heath. He's the gift. He doesn't lift heavy, he doesn't train as hard as everyone else. And then he was like, but if he doesn't work, I'm going to outwork him, blah blah blah. But he's probably working enough to still beat you.
Yeah.
So it's like with Ippo and stuff, obviously so there's a bit of this. He's got like the raw strength because he's always like carrying the fishing equipment and all that. So he's got something in there, but then he just works like a dog. Okay, so some talent plus absolute balls to the wall effort. He's going to grind and get help and grind. And that's sick to watch. Because you want him to, you're like, this guy, you don't want the guy who's working really hard to lose.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's unfair. He worked really hard. You should win. This guy's a dick. He's just a poser.
But that's what sports anime does such a good job of. They do such a good job of telling the journey of your main characters. And on that subject as well, like they do a really good job handling antagonists, or you want to call them villains, whatever. Because in sports anime, you don't have the curly mustache, like I've got loads of powers villains, do you? The villains are just you don't get that. They're basically protagonists in their own stories. So like you can look at Ippo, for example, like Mashiba early on was a villain, but he's not really a bad guy. Like he was just like him and his sister were orphaned and he had to like make some money, and it's the one thing that he's really good at, and it's just like redeeming qualities.
He gets humanized massively.
Yes,
like he's just a villain.
Sports anime. They humanize a lot of their characters really well, and I think that's awesome.
Quibs, when you're prep and you're watching Ippo, like how many times does it give you a genuine like internal boost to watch someone working hard and you think, I can work a bit harder. I can do this. I can do that. Like almost daily, every day, there's something that it does push you. And I don't get that as much when I'm watching like a regular show, like a person show.
This is the interesting thing with me when I came to watching Ippo during prep. I think I started watching the last 4 weeks, but it was hit and miss because there's certain times I was watching, I'm like, I want to train more. Then other times I'm like, I just want to be entertained. I just want to rest whilst I'm doing cardio, if that makes sense. I just want to watch something I'm going to sit back and think, something like How to Get Away with Murder on Netflix, and then other kind of things like what's that show?
Tower of Heist Dolphins.
Stonewalls, is it?
Stonewalls.
No, it meant to
Stone.
Dr. Stone.
Oh my god, this guy.
I'm not cutting any of that out.
Oh god,
keep it in.
Your names are better. I think they should start using your names.
Well, that's the new season. This season is called Dr. Stonewalls.
Oh, okay, fine. I was gonna say the first one. I was like, oh my god, that was so good.
Subconsciously came up. You see, subconsciously I'm giving them their names, but then they travel forward in time. They heard me and they're like, let's use that, and then came back. They're using the same technology that the Simpsons are using. Stay woke.
Yeah. What would you quote? I'll get the quote. Yeah, do the quote.
So Oikawa in Haikyu says, "Talent is something you bloom. Instinct is something you polish."
Ooh.
I was like, ooh, I like that.
I think we know what's going to be the soundbite at the beginning of the episode.
Oh yeah.
Nathan sounded really clever at the beginning.
I used the quotation marks.
What if you were in need? So I'm going to bring it back to gym a little bit. Let's say you're not in prep. Well, yeah, you're not in prep. It's just a regular day. You want a little bit of a boost. Like you could go train fine, but you want to like smash the session. And you've got 5 minutes to 5-10 minutes whilst you're drinking your pre-workout. You're sitting in the gym. You're just trying to get yourself a little bit amped up. You got to watch something. I'm going to say it's got to be anime related. You can't just watch Ronnie Coleman clips saying, "Yeah, buddy, ain't nothing but a peanut."
Yeah.
So you're going to watch anime. What are you picking? Because you're surely going straight for sports anime. Highlights of sport. I mean, For me, I'm watching sports anime. Or I'm listening to sports anime. Yeah.
Were you watching Cribs? Sorry.
Kenichi.
Yeah. Is there a particular scene you could describe to us you'd want to watch?
There's a whole load of training scenes in it, and like it's a whole. Pretty much, there's a concept in it where of training where he's supposed to train for power and endurance at the same time. So like he's supposed to be training his muscle to be very extremely powerful, but also be able to withstand those bouts of power for a long time.
Oh, what a dichotomy! Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I think they call it pink muscle or something like that. Because he got red muscle, you got red muscle. You got white muscle, you got red muscle. But we're going to train you to have 100% pink muscle.
Right, okay.
Which you can only do in an anime.
I'll say, otherwise you're doing the 15 to 20 rep range with your 1 rep max.
That pink muscle.
That pink muscle.
But it's how he's able to just endure it and keep going on. Those are the kind of scenes I want to watch. If I'm going to, some anime related to get me psyched up for training.
I think I could go Ippo quite easily, but I reckon a compilation video, Kuroko No Sora training, because he also does a lot of like weight related training, like on the boat and just generally. He's always lifting something that looks stupid, like crazy heavy. So like maybe like a 5-minute compilation of that would be cool, because he's it's hard for him. He's just not lifting it for fun. Like every rep is difficult. And it's a mission. So seeing that is like, yeah, I need to be in that state when I train in a minute. So let me just immerse myself in someone else's difficult training, so I don't feel alone when I go and train now. That makes sense. So yeah, maybe. And he's a normal dude, like I said before, just really strong and puts in a lot of hard work.
Mine would be it'd probably be Ippo. It would have to be one of the scenes where they're in a training camp and then Kimura and Oki are absolutely dying and like out of breath, lying on the floor, and they look at Ippo and Ippo's still going, and they go, there's a scene of what happens, and you look at Ippo and he's still going, and they're like, screw this, we can't let him like outshine us, and they get up and they keep going. I'm just like, yes. I was like, because you're in their mindset, their POV at that point, and you're like, okay, if Ippo can keep, that's what I said to Max when we was training on prep. I was like, if Ippo was me right now, he'd do 2 more. He ain't stopping us. I'm doing 2 more. Okay.
And really, it's me lifting the whole thing for him 2 times. Yeah, come on. Yeah, come on.
That makes a difference.
Yeah. No, I think it's pretty cool. If anyone wants to get hyped for anything, maybe they want to get really hyped up for a Zoom call at work. Just watch 5 minutes of those 3 things happening. Kenichi, Ippo, and Zoro.